Now, the writer of the Clone Wars, Mr. Gilroy, has revealed that General Grievous was actually to be Maul in disguise in Revenge of the Sith. Imagine Obi-Wan goes to Utapau to fight Grievous, and Maul takes off his helmet to reveal himself, at last, to the Jedi.
Bro, I didn't even think about it in that aspect of it, because I heard that storyline too, and I was like, that's interesting. But I didn't even think about the Utapau interaction with Obi-Wan. That would have been freaking awesome. Yeah, I heard that news came out that George Lucas initially intended to make the robot villain Grievous, Darth Maul, which is interesting. It would make sense. You know, Maul was cut in half. In Clone Wars, he's given robot legs that kind of have a Grievous style to them anyways.
Yeah.
So that could have been a cool way to preserve him and still have him, you know, Maul continue in the trilogy and not be wasted in the small amount of time he had in Phantom Menace. But
and this also...
But I like Clone Wars Maul too.
Yeah. And this also ties in with George Lucas's original sequel plans. Because his original sequel villain was Maul. So if George was trying to bring him back in any kind of way, yes, Maul was supposed to be the villain for the sequels. If he never sold Star Wars.
First time hearing of that.
Yeah.
Wow, that makes me a little upset.
Right.
Huh. Kind of wish I didn't know that. That's wild. Okay.
Yeah, that would have been so sick. Like an older Maul.
Thank God we got Palpatine again.
Somehow.
Damn, dude, that would have been dope.
Right.
Somehow Maul is Grievous. That would have been cool though. I would have loved to see that and to be able to see that fight go down. I also saw that initially the Grievous fight with Obi-Wan was supposed to be much different on Utapau. Really? I don't know if much might be over exaggerating.
I don't love,
but it was going to be different.
It's not my favorite duel. I'll say that as much.
Right. It's a little one dimensional. Half of it is them racing.
Right.
It's like a chase for half of it, and yeah, it just doesn't really barely showcases Obi-Wan versus Grievous lightsaber style. You know, a lot of it.
So uncivilized.
We get to a point where Obi-Wan's throwing leg kicks, like freaking leg kicking a robot at one point. It's like, all right. But yeah, so apparently originally they were kind of supposed to be isolated. They weren't going to be surrounded by anybody on Utapau. And Grievous was going to end up using a staff type weapon that kind of resembled, you know, what his minions were kind of using earlier in the episode. It was the fight style was going to kind of resemble Obi-Wan and Darth Maul because it kind of looked like a double-bladed saber, the staff itself. But it was supposed to be much different, and I'm trying to remember all of the details of it, but I just remember it sounded a lot better than what we got.
Because immediately Grievous, has his minions try to kill Obi-Wan first, and it's that classic villain trying to get away, and then he runs off in his little fucking pod racer shit, whatever, and so that was definitely George just running with the CGI instead of, trying to get a good fight out of it.
Right. Hello and welcome in to another episode of Why So Sidious, a nerd podcast, where we discuss and break down all of your favorite nerd properties, whether it's a novel, comic series, movies, or more. Today is another edition of Week in Geek, as we discuss news, rumors, and updates across the news world. Today we'll be getting into topics regarding the MCU, a lot of MCU topics, some what ifs and what could have been regarding Star Wars. And we're going to give you a little study guide for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, so you're all ready for that. Before we get to that, please go ahead and follow us on social media. We are constantly posting daily. Somebody's, working their butt off to put reels out there and, clips of the show, so you should go ahead and follow us out there. Give us some interactions. There's polls. If you got episode suggestions or questions, we're here to listen. Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Why So Sidious Pod. And you can also contact us at whysosidious@yahoo.com with any questions or requests.
Concerns.
or concerns, yes, if you believe that we're just really not cutting it, or you just don't like one of us and you'd like one of us to leave, go ahead and send us an email and we'll see how you're feeling about stuff. Maybe we'll listen.
No, but make sure you listen to the next episode to find out what we say about it.
That's true, yeah. If you send something in, you're locked in now, so we know we got you. Future programming reminders. We have Road to Secret Wars Part 3 coming out, New Avengers Volume 1 that we are covering, getting you ready for Infinity and Secret Wars in the long run. And as always, top 5 Star Wars novels will be coming out in the near future. But
We're
more importantly,
getting to it.
One of these days.
I actually just started re-listening to Plagueis, which the beginning... Once you listen to the first 5 minutes, you're hooked. The beginning of that book is so good, and it's so well written. Like the lore that it goes into. They talk about Darth Bane immediately, and how Plagueis' master is all about the rule of 2, and how Darth Bane set everything up. And yes. Dude. Once you start it, you'll want to finish it.
See, I can't wait to get into that to reread it. I've been stuck in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I've been on Return of the King. And I took a little break, and I'm like, I just want to read Plagueis. So now I'm pushing through the last part of Return of the King. It gets a little slow towards the end, but I want to start Plagueis again. No, with this one, so far there hasn't been 7 endings. There kind of is, but it doesn't feel like the ending's like the movie. They do it better in this movie for sure. Or in this book,
not cut to black, but cut to white.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't fake you out 4 or 5 different times. But Andy Serkis does sing a lot. Sings a hell of a lot. Sometimes not very good. But anyway, I want to get to Plagueis. So that's definitely going to be one of the ones I do. And depending how long we procrastinate with this episode, maybe I'll get to Lords of the Sith too or something like that.
Dude, that was the first one.
They're only 12 hours compared to Game of Thrones where it can be 40 hours in a book. It's only a 12-hour thing. So yeah, Lords of the Sith.
That's where I started. But that's a good one.
Is it? Okay. That was definitely one of my first 2, but yeah, that's a great one.
Palpatine putting Vader through some crazy shit.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we're getting to it.
We're getting to it. Yes, we're it's in our minds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we haven't forgot about you out there. And then our major one coming up here, obviously, will be our coverage of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which comes out February 17th, 6 days from today. We are very excited. Caleb's going opening night. I'm going to try to go opening night if we got tickets. And yeah, I can't wait to cover that one. This is going to be a major step in the MCU. And it's going to be such a major step that we're going to use it as a jumping off point to a new segment that you're going to start hearing from us in our future episodes. So we are going to start releasing study guides, which I guess we're not starting because we did one for Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings, but those were 2-hour episodes. We are not going to be doing that for these things. Those were deep in detailed study guides. So we're going to start a new segment here when we have any project coming out, whether it's a movie or series. So we have Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania coming out, and we're just going to give you a brief kind of backstory to what events led to this movie, how we got here, big key players that we need to be, boned up on before we go in to watch it and everything. So we're just going to get you prepared for whatever's coming up. So it'll be brief. We'll give you some backstory to stuff, give you some reminders of prior events, and get you ready to go into that movie. So we're gonna start it off today after I take a sip of my drink. Sponsored by Wood. I forgot the whiskey name I was going to make up. It's Evan Williams. It's cheap whiskey.
By Johnny Walker Blue Label.
Johnny Walker Blue. No, I'm not a loser like Jerry Jones. Anyway, ooh, whiskey Sprites. I've never had it until today. My first time. It always sounded weird mixing Sprite and whiskey.
Right.
It didn't sound like a good mixture, but I know my buddy Connor Visman, actually, not you this time, Noonan, always drinks it and always talks about it. It's pretty good.
He is a whiskey
Might
seven
be my new
guy,
favorite thing. Yeah, all the time. Always talks about it. So, yeah, I gave it a try today, and I'm a fan.
Huh.
You can catch me drinking one of these the rest of the podcast episodes.
I'll try it.
I like, cocktail on a podcast, man. It's a good time. Anyway.
Drink responsibly.
So, Anyway, tangent. Let's get into this new segment of ours, Quantumania. We're going to start off by briefly, we're getting our early reviews regarding the movie already, and Jonathan Majors is the key topic that everybody's talking about. Everybody's saying Jonathan Majors has an incredible performance, and the movie lives up to kind of what the hype's been building it up to be. So, getting pretty stoked for it.
Mm-hmm. So Jonathan Majors is becoming a star fast. Like his surprise appearance at the end of Loki kind of set things off when he just killed it out of nowhere. And now he's everywhere. And he is the next Thanos.
Well, yeah, himself as an actor, I forget. Have you seen the trailer for that movie where it's like fighter pilots?
Yeah.
I don't remember what the name of it is, but Jonathan Majors is the star. This dude is pulling a Hermione from Harry Potter. Devotion is the name of it. I don't know how he's filming all of these movies at once.
Right.
Like, I don't know how he's able to be in so many places at once. He's got Creed 3 coming out. He's got, obviously, Ant-Man and Loki Season 2. I think he's rumored to have some cameos in or something like that as well. He's got this Devotion movie. What's the next big movie that's coming out that he's in, too, that we just saw a trailer for?
Right.
I forgot. But he's got like 4 movies coming out this year. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So he is definitely the star right now. Magazine Dreams was the other one. He's the lead in. So, and it's killing it at Sundance right now. So not just blockbusters, he's doing indie films that are killing it too. So yeah, this man is blowing up.
Take a break, bro.
But yeah, so he can't. Now he's got Kang Dynasty coming and then Secret Wars. This man is going to be busy for quite some time.
Loki. He filmed something in Loki.
Right, exactly. Like, he's going to be in some stuff there, too. I mean, and we might... just Marvel alone, this man is going to be busy. So, I'm not going to go into Kang for this study guide, because if you want to get the information on Kang, you can check out our new episode series called The Novice Nerd. Our first episode is out now, done by our host, Jeremy Darr, and it covers Kang the Conqueror, his background, his origin, powers and abilities, and comic suggestions if you want to read some to get a little more background info on him. So, that's available now, everywhere you get podcasts. So, go ahead and check out The Novice Nerd, Kang the Conqueror. But what we will go over real quick is how we got here. So just real quick, obviously the first Ant-Man, Scott Lang becomes Ant-Man. We meet Hank Pym and we meet Darren Cross, who is the lead guy at Pym, I believe was the company. Yeah, he took over the Pym company and he turns into the villain Yellow Jacket. Now at the end of that movie, Scott Lang defeats him by sending him to the quantum realm, if you remember correctly.
Right.
He gets crunched into a tiny little box and he disappears into the quantum realm. Well, we'll get into it in a minute here, but I think he's going to be in this movie. So that movie ends off. We go to Ant-Man, the second one, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and we have a new character, which is obviously Hope Van Dyne, Janet Van Dyne's daughter. We find out that Janet Van Dyne has been stuck in the quantum realm Hope's entire life, and that Hank Pym, lost her to the quantum realm. And we retrieved her. So we got a lot of backstory for the quantum realm and Ant-Man. Kind of cool little team up there. Mm-hmm. I was going to do a Luis breakdown. One of our faithful listeners, Cody Schneider, had the idea of doing a recap in a Luis style thing, but I didn't have the confidence and I didn't plan it out enough to do that.
Oh my God, that would be hilarious.
Would have been probably pretty good. It was a great idea. But seeing as I didn't, maybe tune in for our Ant-Man review. We always give a quick summary at the beginning. Maybe our host throws a
you never know.
Luis recap. You never know. So tune in. So yeah, those are the Ant-Man movies. Obviously, Endgame leads to us going to the quantum realm, time traveling. We figure out that's how you time travel is by going to the quantum realm. Ant-Man and the rest of the gang kind of figures out how to manipulate and navigate the quantum realm. So that's going to lead into this movie and allowing them to kind of have more experience of being in the quantum realm and possible some time changes that they might cause while being in the quantum realm. I think there's going to be a lot of chain reactions that comes from this thing. And Loki, finally. So Loki, at the end of the TVA, we find out that He Who Remains is the one behind everything, controlling all the timelines. And that, of course, is a Kang variant played by Jonathan Majors. And he gives an ominous little threat to Sylvie and says, if you think I'm bad, just wait till you see my other variants. And gives a ominous foreshadowing towards how Kang the Conqueror is going to be. So, that is how we got here. Back to my Darren Cross point real quick. We have a character being introduced in this movie named MODOK. Now, he's an incredibly goofy-looking character from the comics. He's literally a giant head floating in a little robot body with tiny arms and legs hanging from it.
And
he's known as...
the Avengers video game, too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's a main villain in the Avengers thing. They did a Hulu series with Patton Oswalt, animated comedy, awful, absolutely terrible.
It was like claymation almost, right? Or like
it was straight up like Robot Chicken. It was Robot Chicken, but not as funny. So yeah, that's a quick review for that show. But so MODOK, also, which it stands for Mental Organism Designed Only for Killing. Super creative. So in the comics, it's George Tarleton is the name. He was an American technician working for AIM, which AIM is going to be a big thing going forward too. Maybe we'll give you a little breakdown on that in the future, but it's basically an evil shield. They're scientists it's not an evil shield, but it's a nemesis of SHIELD. It's a scientist organization. They're evil. And he ended up being mutated into a human computer while he was handling the Cosmic Cube in the comics. So the Cosmic Cube is the Tesseract in the MCU. It's called the Cosmic Cube in the comics. Sorry. So, anyways, he gets mutated in this weird thing. His brain grows so big that he has superhuman intellect, but with the side effect of a massive cranium. So he can't support his head with his body. So he has to get this weird hovercraft wheelchair that he calls the Doomsday Chair. So I think it's going to be Darren Cross. That was kind of a theory going into it. We saw a trailer and MODOK was briefly in the background with the human face aspect of him showing, and it kind of looked like Darren Cross. So yeah, pretty sure it's going to be him. Do you have any expectations for MODOK at all going into it? Because it's a pretty risky character to take on in a movie.
Right. So it's hard to see him in the trailer, but I did see the still shot of it, and it does look like a more realistic version than what I've seen in other iterations. Okay. So he will just be kind of one of Kang's lackeys, one of his bitches that he bosses around, to be more blunt about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just call it what it is.
So yeah, I don't have much expectations for him, so I won't be really, upset if he's not played well, because Jonathan Majors, Kang is what I'm looking forward to. So MODOK is just kind of off to the side.
Yeah.
Just don't make him a central
like a little
role
bonus
of the movie.
Right. Yeah, and the early reviews kind of came back with people saying like he was fun for what he was, like he was kind of a fun little villain there, but it didn't make it sound like he was a major character at all. So
that's good.
Yeah, it's interesting that they took it on. I really didn't expect them to make that a live action thing, but yeah. You got any other notable stuff you remember regarding going into this for Ant-Man?
Mostly just with Loki. That's what I mostly am thinking about, because just the conversation he had with Sylvie and Loki, where like I've been keeping all the other versions of me at bay. Like this is a good version of me. Like, you don't want to deal with all the other me's that are out there in the multiverse. And Sylvie made that decision because she's a Loki at heart. And now we are, dealing with what we got from her. And so I'm just excited to see how he slowly starts to, his story starts going into Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars.
Yeah, it feels like there's just going to be a lot of tie-ins to this. This really feels like it's going to be at the center of the MCU going forward, kind of this story.
Yes.
And another tie-in possibly would be the scene in the trailer where Ant-Man is stacked on top of all the ants and he's reaching out towards this orange device, right? And it looks like it's kind of surrounded by swirling rings, maybe in a circle, and he's trying to get whatever it is inside of there. So that's a big clip in the trailer, and Kang has hired Scott to get something for him. He needs to steal him something back that Kang needs, which again, I theorized it's the thing that powers his chair that he's going to be able to escape the multiverse and the quantum realm. And he's stuck there right now. So that's what I was, guessing he's hiring him for. But if you remember in Shang-Chi at the end, in the end credits, where they're studying the rings and Wong and I think Captain Marvel was there and Mark Ruffalo, Bruce Banner. I don't know why I called him Mark Ruffalo, but they're studying this and they're like, it's a beacon. There's a beacon happening. It's sending a signal somewhere. And that little close-up looks a hell of a lot like the orange thing that Scott Lang is reaching out to. And on the rings that are kind of encircling that, there were engravings that looked exactly like the engravings that were on Shang-Chi's rings, but also Kamala Khan's bangle that she wears in Miss Marvel. So they're all these kind of mystical, kind of powerful weapons or tools or whatever that we keep seeing in Phase 4. And now we're seeing this thing in the quantum realm that looks very similar. So it would be interesting if that's the beacon they saw at the end of Shang-Chi. It had something to do with Kang beaconing in the quantum realm or something like that. Or maybe Ant-Man sending out a beacon like, hey, we're stuck here, something like that, like that ties in at the end of this movie, something like that. So I think there might be a tie in there.
Right. And even with the Kamala Khan thing, the post-credit scene is her and Miss Marvel like trading places when those things light up. So there's some type of portal system going on there,
Yeah, good call. Like it's like they're being transported to and from the quantum realm into a different type of thing,
Right, because who knows where Miss Marvel was or Captain Marvel was when that happened.
Yeah, so I think there are going to be a lot of connections, but I see this movie being awesome. Can't wait to see it.
Yes.
So real quick, while we're talking about this movie, so Jeff Loveness, who was the writer for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, he had a comment talking about adapting Kang for the MCU and how the process was and stuff. And, he's like, I certainly took a ton from the comics, but the joy of these movies is you also get to put some of yourself into it. You get to put a completely new spin, because if you just do 100% comic book adaptation, people know all the tricks and what to expect. You have to use that as a foundation and then throw a curveball. I've tried to lean into him being a more interesting character than people expect, hopefully. And I love that. I love that because I hate when people always gripe about that's not how it was in the comics. It's like, do you just want like 100% mirror image adaptation of the comics just on screen? Because I think it's more interesting when stuff happens that you're not expecting. And I think the MCU's done a great job at bringing stuff in from comics, but not doing it, word for word, bar for bar, like having variety and a little surprise,
Yeah. That's how you have to do it. I mean, don't complain.
Yeah. So seeing that, as the writer for Kang was definitely another reason where I'm feeling really good about where this is going. All right. So let's move away from Ant-Man for a bit. I think we've talked about that topic for quite long enough. We got some new inside info coming out regarding Revenge of the Sith and possible alternate ending and saber duels that was could have been. So Caleb, what do you have on that?
Right. So in an interview with Star Wars Theory, please check him out on YouTube. One of my favorite pages to follow. A lot of cool lore and top 10 type of stuff, and covers all the new shows and movies coming out. Well, Star Wars doesn't make movies, but anyways. So he had the prequel trilogy stunt coordinator, Nick Gillard, on. And there seems that there was an alternate ending to the final battle between Anakin and Obi-Wan. And he said that Ewan and Christian were not fans of the high ground scene, but George wasn't having it at all. George was all in on the high ground scene, but they wanted a different ending. And this is the ending that he talked about during the interview. So, quote, and straight away, Anakin just grabbed him. He disarmed him, grabbed him by the throat. He's got him, and Obi's saber is on the ground. And Anakin says, I'm sorry it has to be this way, my master. And actually lets the lightsaber go. Obi hunches to get away from it, sucks his saber up, and as he pulls his saber up, he cuts through Anakin's arms almost by mistake, and then chops through his legs, almost by mistake again. And then the whole body fell off his legs. It was more of a defense gone wrong type of move. It was strong.
That brings so much more emotion into Obi-Wan at the end of that. Like, if it wasn't intentional like that, and he's still yelling, "You are my brother," like, oof. Yeah, that's even heavier.
But I see where George was coming from at the same time, where, you know, Obi-Wan has made this decision.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he has to end this now, where, you know, having it happen by a mistake does kind of change things, obviously.
It takes stuff away, too. It adds to the emotion for Obi-Wan, but it takes away, like you said, that conscious decision he had to make. You know, he said, "Then you truly are lost."
Yeah.
You know, so he was past that point, and it makes him seem more skilled too, the way he did it, compared to doing it on accident. You know, while he is being choked. Like, this keeps happening. Obi-Wan's almost dead, like the thing with Maul too, and then he somehow flies up and kills Maul. But
well, Anakin was trying to, like, prove Obi-Wan wrong. Like, I could do what Maul did and kill you with that same move that you defeated him.
Straight up, that's true. But yeah, I'm with the ending we got. It's cool. I like to envision a different thing. I also heard there were like 30 minutes of film cut from maybe not 30 minutes, but from the duel alone. Like, there was way more intense stuff that apparently happened on that Mustafar duel that they kind of cut.
Damn.
Did you hear about any other cut scenes like that from Revenge of the Sith?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so apparently we were supposed to have a very different Palpatine scene when Mace Windu comes to Coruscant to arrest him.
Okay.
And it was gonna be way better than what we got. There's a video out there of the stunt people doing it, and because it was pathetic. The first two Jedi that got killed, I mean, they did Kit Fisto dirty. At least he got one or two deflections. But the first two Jedi just held their arms up in the air and just let him stab them without even a single deflection of the saber. They didn't get a deflection in. So they died instantly, and then we got the Mace Windu thing. But yeah, apparently the deleted stuff, it was like an intense fight that Palpatine was going ham on all four of them as they were attacking him, and he was like skillfully taking them out, not like stabbing a straw man literally propped up on a stick. Like, so that alone would have been dope. And then apparently the Dooku versus Obi-Wan and Anakin fight was there was some crazy cutscene from the stunt guy doing it, where Dooku has these crazy defensive moves where he blocks both of them behind his back with one fell swoop. It looked beautiful. I mean, it looked like an awesome scene. And apparently there's just a ton of lightsaber stuff they cut. Order 66, they cut stuff with Anakin fighting the Jedi in the temple. So we got Prime Vader. They did, again, they have clips of all this, of the people with the sticks, you know, on the green screen doing the training and practicing the moves and all that, like we saw Ewan and Hayden doing. But yeah, it's Prime Vader cutting down Jedi Masters or Jedi Knights in the temple. Like, that could have been incredible scenes that would have been so fun to watch. Right. And instead we got him killing kids on the hologram a little bit. But I love the movie. But then you see all that stuff, and it's like, oh, that would have been awesome. Like, I would have loved to see Prime Anakin in the temple tearing stuff up. But yeah, I mean, it's a bummer, but that was a cool interview with the Star Wars theory that you were talking about there. What was the guy's name again?
Nick Gillard.
Okay. Yeah, he's got a lot of interesting stuff. It was a good get. A good get for sure.
Get some good
Maybe you can join our show. Yeah, if anybody out there has any like familial relations to anybody who's worked on a Star Wars movie or something like that, let us know. We would love to talk.
We'll take them.
While we're on Star Wars, let's head over to the video game aspect. So Jedi Survivor, the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, has officially been delayed. And the release date now is a week after Mando Season 3 finale. So it's weird. Now, this is actually another thing that came out of Star Wars Theory. He was talking about it a little bit. And they said it's delayed by like 5 weeks. And they said they were fine-tuning some stuff. To which he pointed out, A, it doesn't take 5 weeks to just fine-tune stuff. B, there's already a bunch of copies made. So what are they going to do with those if they're really changing stuff this,
Right.
So there's a lot of reasons why it didn't kind of make sense. So
it's a money thing.
That's what makes more sense. Again, anything happens, look for the money. Look towards the money. Chances are that's going to be the cause.
Yeah, they don't want Mando and Jedi Survivor going on at the same time because they're so desperate for attention that they want it to come out after each other so they can keep this kind of flow going.
Especially after the finale ends, and you know how series go. As soon as a series ends or a season ends, you're like, oh man, you're in that like what's the word?
Zone.
Yeah, you're in that kind of style or that genre. Yeah, you get into different types of genres that you're just in. You're watching sci-fi movies. You're on a sci-fi kick for a while. So you get on these Star Wars kicks, which is why I reread the Lord of the Rings trilogy because of the Rings of Power. The season ended, and I was like, I think I'm going to read those.
It takes a long time, though, apparently.
Oh, God, a long time. But they were good. I don't regret anything. But, yeah, so people are going to be coming out of Mando, which looks to be an incredibly fun season, and they're going to want more Star Wars content. So that makes sense with Jedi Survivor. The other more exciting kind of fun rumor behind it is people were theorizing that Cal Kestis could make could make an appearance in Mando Season 3. Now, I see where they're going with that, but the timeline's way off. So it'd be an old Cal Kestis, first off, because we're looking at him at the start of the Empire, kind of during Andor. And Mandalorian takes place, we're now like, 7 years past Return of the Jedi at this point? Something like that. I think we started off 5 years after. So it'd be an old Cal Kestis, and I don't know how that would really play into the game, how it would they'd want to move it so it wouldn't spoil anything for the game or something like that. The money thing's a little bit more believable.
Right, and it couldn't be an Order 66 flashback either because we already know where because we're getting the Grogu Order 66 flashback continuation. Mm-hmm. But obviously we already saw that in the game. We know where he is. He's not on Coruscant. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Or wherever. Grogu's on Coruscant, right?
Yeah, and wasn't Cal on a ship? He wasn't on Coruscant.
Mm-mm.
He was just on a ship with clones with his master, but yeah.
Because I was thinking for a second, it would be cool in the second game, but it wouldn't make sense. You somehow save Grogu on one of the missions in the game, but obviously he was a child when that happened. This is already way past that. It's 5 years. The second game's 5 years, so I don't see Cal Kestis showing up in Mando.
He would have to be like one of the first rescuers of Grogu, and then somebody else took him from Cal, and then that's how he ended up getting. Because again, he's a 50-year-old baby, so there were points in between Order 66 and when we see him in Mando Season 1 where he could have passed hands with Cal at one point there.
Okay,
and it would fall in line with the Jedi Survivor timeline. So actually, that's not a horrible point. It's a long shot, but it's not as long as you think.
Yeah, he was one of the people. Maybe he was protecting Grogu on that planet that Mando found him on, or something, and then had to, leave him with someone else.
Or right before that, something happened, and he passed him off to somebody else, and that person lost it to those Trandoshans that were guarding him, or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But there's a way to make that happen if they wanted to. So let's hop out of the Star Wars universe right now. So there's been a lot of Marvel rumors coming out, a lot of exciting ones, some more believable than others, some with a lot more credibility than others. One of them was something regarding Secret Invasion. What do you got for us?
It seems that there is a big cameo in Episode 6. So who do you think it could be? Well, I think it's I think there's 8 episodes. So
6. So that should be the finale.
Okay, the finale. So there's a big cameo in the finale. Who do you think it could be?
Okay, who do I think it could be? Secret Invasion. I mean, Nick Fury's already obviously in it. Secret Invasion.
I mean, Captain Marvel would make sense with the tie-in with Nick Fury and the movie.
Yeah.
The summer movie coming out right after.
Yeah, it would. I think I was thinking way bigger than that, but I think Captain Marvel for sure. Which Captain Marvel would be a big cameo. Like it's one of the main characters coming in the shows. I almost want to say an old Cap. Old Captain America makes his way into it. I'll go with the guest of Tony Stark hologram. That would make way more sense for Armor Wars and not Secret Invasion, but
fuck it.
I was trying to think of stuff relating to the comics and like major players in there, but a lot of the major players in Secret Invasion is, Elektra, Hank Pym is a pretty major one there. Iron Man obviously is. Spider-Woman is a major one, but out of all those, that's not really anything that would be huge for Secret Invasion. They just throw an old-ass Hank Pym, which Hank Pym's totally different from the comics anyways, so they're not going to use him the way they did in the comics.
He's a little past his prime in the MCU.
Yeah, just a bit. Well, who do you think? Do you have any theories leading that?
I think Captain Marvel. I think that was my number one.
Okay. I could see that for sure.
I'm not too familiar with the Skrulls in the comic realm, so I don't really know.
Well, yeah, there's not really anything there with Captain Marvel and the Skrull. Well, the Kree and the Skrulls definitely have a massive, war and a massive rivalry in the comics for sure. But Carol has the relationship with the Skrulls in the movies, obviously with Talos and everything like that, so that would totally make sense.
I just rewatched the Secret Invasion trailer like a couple days ago, and it looks really good. Like, I'm really excited for that show, and they haven't set a release date yet, which is odd because it says spring of 2023. There's no release date yet.
Spring?
Maybe they're keeping it a secret. Get it?
I didn't. You're so dumb.
It's just gonna drop on Disney Plus one day. How sick would that be?
Right? Just wake
one
up
fucking
morning.
Friday night, Secret Invasion's on Disney Plus. That would be kind of stupid.
Go to watch the
though.
Bad Batch finale. Just see Secret Invasion. Just there. Yeah, it would be a horrible marketing tactic, but
it'd be secret.
It says, early 2023, 6 episodes. This one says May 10th is the target date. That's not early. That's almost halfway through the year.
But that's right before the Marvels.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I honestly, thinking about it, I think Carol Danvers is going to be in it. I think we're going to see Captain Marvel and Secret Invasion.
She was already in Miss Marvel, so she's been cameoing all around.
Yeah. And it just fits. It just really does.
So I have another rumor for you. It seems that there is going to be a secret movie in between Fantastic Four and Kang Dynasty. Because before, everyone was kind of thinking that Fantastic Four leads right into Kang Dynasty. But no. Since they pushed kind of the dates around, there is going to be another movie in between.
Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck. Interesting. Okay. I don't know what the hell that would be. Oh, yeah. Doctor Strange 3.
There you go.
Because there were rumors that they were going to try to fast track it before Secret Wars.
Okay.
So maybe that would be it. Or Nova. They said they're going to do the Nova movie. That would be cool.
There you
go. Real quick, just since you brought up Fantastic Four, I don't know if you saw the rumor that Galactus is reportedly the main villain for it.
No way.
Yeah. And now that's coming out of it's MTTSH. I don't have the full thing. It obviously stands for something.
Well, you want a casting rumor, I heard?
Oh God, no, I don't. We've talked about this. It seems that
the director, Matt Shakman, was out and about with Mila Kunis.
Oh, The Thing, huh? A little Ben Grimm casting. That's pretty dope. Okay, it's a little different, but I like the variation.
So people were saying she might be Sue Storm, which I did not take a grain of salt to. So
yeah. I was just about to start contemplating it, and then I was like, stop.
Nope.
We said we weren't going to freaking think about this, so I'm not even going to theorize who she could be cast as. But, you brought up Matt Shakman. So obviously he did all the WandaVision episodes. He's going to be doing Fantastic Four, I believe. Right? Wasn't that confirmed that he's doing it?
Director. Yeah.
So it's funny. So one of the shows I've watched for a long time, it's been going for like 16 seasons now, is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's a comedy on FX. It's freaking hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Like, it's just great. But I've been listening to their podcast. So all the three main guys who all wrote the show and are the main characters in the show, they do a podcast where they go through all their episodes and they kind of, they give backstories and they talk about stuff and all that. But Matt Shackman was a writer for them on a lot of the season 2 episodes. So they keep talking about Matt, like, Matt had this idea and, blah, 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 blah. So it's just so weird listening to this FX show that is nothing like an MCU project. And they keep talking about Matt Shackman and how funny of ideas he had and all these creative things that he brought to these episodes that they had nothing but praise talking about Matt Shackman. And it's just so weird. And at one point they mentioned, like, he actually wrote all the WandaVision stuff, I think. But nothing but praise from 3 very creative and funny guys. So I'm very curious to see the style of movie we get from him for Fantastic Four.
Right. I'm excited, very excited for that movie.
Yeah.
Well, that was a great segue for my next rumor. Because in this whole thing I was reading about, it seems that a Kang variant may have written the Darkhold to get them off his scent and to make everyone kind of put their attention onto Wanda instead. And that, he put lies and deception in the book to trick Wanda. What do you think about that?
I kind of have a problem with that one.
Okay.
It's an interesting way to do it. It'd be an interesting change. And obviously, like we just talked about, you're going to change stuff from the comics. And I'm not going to be mad at that simply because you changed something from the comics. But for that to be the case, that means that Wong and Multiverse of Madness, well, it would have had to been that Kang lied, like you just said, and stated that Chthon was the one who wrote it, because they talk about that Multiverse of Madness that it was written by Chthon, that entity that's like kind of, he's just a giant demon essentially in the comics. Right. But he's famous for writing it in the comics, the Darkhold and everything, and they mentioned it and all that, and all the stuff at Wanda's throne in Multiverse of Madness that all lined up with that. I just feel like it would be weird to change it to Kang being the one who wrote that, even though you could explain it with Kang wrote that and made it seem like some being named Chthon wrote it as a part of the deception. So I guess it's possible. I wouldn't be a fan of it personally. I'd like them to keep that one the way it is.
Yeah, right. I agree with that. And these are all just rumors, obviously.
Right.
We're not trying
take
to
everything with a grain of salt.
Yes.
Yeah. Some rumors we're gonna hate. We're going to hate the idea of, and we're going to hate it doesn't happen. And I wouldn't hate it. I'd prefer they don't do that. There's a lot of stuff that they could make Kang the architect of prior stuff we've seen in the MCU where we end up thinking, oh, damn, that was because of Kang. But yeah, I think they should leave the Darkhold. Right.
So my last Marvel rumor, which kind of ties in with one of yours, which I think is more likely than the last one we talked about, is an 838 versus 616 universe incursion, which is obviously the universe we traveled to in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Mm-hmm. And and the post-credit scene of that movie talks about when Gwyneth Paltrow shows up and says it's an incursion's coming. Is it not Gwyneth Paltrow?
That's Pepper Potts.
That's Pepper Potts. What's her name?
oh, Charlize Theron?
Charlize Theron, yes. Yeah. Sorry. So when Charlize Theron shows up in the post-credit scene and talks about, an incursion's coming, I definitely see this coming, and it also seems that the whole multiverse kind of story kicks off in Deadpool 3. That's where we will first be getting our kind of big story after. Obviously, Ant-Man will start it off, but then Deadpool 3 is where we really get into the multiverse.
Yes, which is a great way to do it. Not only because this is your fourth wall breaker, he's the king of meta jokes, and that's a hell of a way to change multiversal stuff by using meta humor and stuff like that, and kind of having that type of humor and those type of plot lines, like it's a really easy and fun way to totally change the multiverse, but doing it in a fun way. And not to mention, you're doing it with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman and Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, so you're not only doing it in a movie where everybody is going to go see, but now you're making that major change for the future of the MCU in a movie where the majority of the people are going to go see. Like, nobody's going to pass up this movie if you like Marvel at all. So it's a great movie to set the tone moving forward in. You're going to have the most people watching, you know. Whereas if you did something crazy like that to change the future in the Marvels or...
even Loki season 2.
Right. Any Disney Plus series, you're going to have less viewership than Deadpool 3 with Wolverine. So
does that come out next year?
Smart. I think it's 2025.
No.
I mean, I hope not, but I thought, all right, just for you out there, we're going to start a Patreon, so you guys can start paying us, and I'll get better internet, and then I can type things in quicker. God, my internet's so slow right now.
What does it
Site
say?
can't be reached. That's dope. Good stuff.
Hold on.
I'm so sick of not being able to have it. Xfinity. 2024. Yeah, you were right. November 8th, 2024.
So I know I wanted the third pick this box office draft, but next year I'm hoping for the number one pick so I can take Deadpool 3.
Oh yeah. That's the one to go for. Especially, I can't wait. Box office drafts are fun, bro. I'm already thinking about that too. In 2025, there's going to be so many crazy movies in 2025.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so it's just a perfect time to do that. I read something like that too, where it says it's going to be like the first project where the multiverse reaches a breaking point and we start seeing all these chain reactions being caused from Deadpool. So I love that. I think that's a perfect way to do it.
I bet Jonathan Majors is in that movie somewhere.
Yeah, another Kang variant real quick.
Yeah,
I mean,
as they're
it doesn't even
traveling
have to be
through.
long. Right, exactly. They just have like a 30-second interaction with one or something like that. Like, you have the openings for that, and I don't know. That's going to be so fun. I can't freaking wait. So you also mentioned Earth 616 and 838.
Yeah.
So the incursions, that gets mentioned by, I think her name is Clea. She's like the niece of Dormammu, which is Charlize Theron. The one who, she's the Sorceress Supreme? I don't remember. She's got some titles. Apparently she's important. But anyway, Reed Richards also mentions incursions during Multiverse of Madness when they're in the Illuminati setting.
Right.
He mentions the incursions.
Doctor Strange caused one.
Yes, right. That's why they had to kill their 838 Doctor Strange. And we end up also seeing an empty chair in the Illuminati room in that movie. It's noticeable. Like, a lot of people pointed it out that there's somebody missing from the Illuminati group. And in the comics, as we've talked about previously,
Doctor Strange.
No, it's not
Doctor Strange
because Mordo is taking his spot.
Yeah,
he's the one in his seat. So that's not it. There's still somebody else. Again, we've talked about Illuminati before, but essentially, Iron Man, Namor, Professor X, Doctor Strange, Black Bolt, and Reed Richards. The Illuminati, Black Panther, and Captain America decline. They think it's wrong and not moral. So we saw them in the MCU finally, but Tony Stark is like almost the leader of the Illuminati. Like, he calls a lot of the shots in the comics because he's Tony Stark. He's cocky, he's arrogant, so he, goes out on a limb and calls shots. So anyways, the major rumor going into Multiverse of Madness was we might see a Supreme Iron Man.
So this Supreme Iron Man would tie in with seeing all those Ultron bots attacking Wanda when she is in the 838 universe. 818 universe.
Yes.
838.
Exactly. 838. Yeah, no, that would be perfect. Like, that ties in. It makes sense because obviously in our universe, Tony created Ultron. So it makes sense that it stems from that.
There's an Iron Man in that universe. Or there was.
Yes. Right. Like, and I think he's still there. So that totally makes sense. And so a lot of people are thinking that we're going to see the superior Iron Man showing up, like that rumor just said. And I forget what movie. I guess it would be at the end of Kang Dynasty, or if not in Secret Wars, but it's going to be in the upcoming Avengers movie. And the unseen member of the Illuminati, which again, rumoring to be Supreme Iron Man. So, God, sorry. I don't know why I keep calling him Supreme. He's Superior Iron Man. It's rumored to be him who's that missing Illuminati member, and he will have a bone to pick with Earth 616's heroes because of everything that happened in Multiverse of Madness. They all got wiped out by Wanda from the 616.
Oh, shit.
So they got beef. Like, they killed all of the Illuminati. The 616 Wanda.
Uh-oh.
And so the whole rumors going into this was we might see a Tom Cruise Superior Iron Man.
Hey,
which
Shady's boy.
Obviously everybody didn't know. He's already been cast as Cyclops, so we're not going to have him as Superior Iron Man. Like, freaking get real. But call back for the third time. So anyway, I wanted to, real quick, again, the talk has been a lot about Superior Iron Man, so I kind of wanted to get you guys familiar, loosely at least, with who Superior Iron Man is. Caleb, are you very caught
Not
up
really,
on him?
besides
Okay.
he's evil.
Straight up. And that was something I learned most recently. I knew it was a cocky, arrogant Iron Man, but I never really knew he was like evil. But yeah, his Iron Man suit's all white. I mean, it's pretty clean, but his face is showing. It doesn't have the actual mask that covers up his face. It's a pretty dope looking suit, but I like to think that he's so egotistical in this that he wants his face being shown. So he removed that part of his mask. But so yeah, what happened with him, he comes from a storyline in Marvel Comics, and it's called the Axis Event. And a spell switches the moralities of all the major heroes of the universe. Totally opposite of how they are. So, you know, Cap would definitely not be the Cap we know and love, all that. And Tony turns evil. But somehow, before the spell was reversed, evil Stark protected himself from it. So although everybody else switched back, he kept himself evil. His powers, just like Tony, are based on his suit, but his suit is made of a special metal called endosim. It gives him other benefits apart from the ones the real Tony Stark has, and it's also a smart liquid metal that hardens when it connects to the user's body. So it's essentially like nanotech, I mean.
Right.
But so, I mean, this dude, he was evil. Like, he was for sure evil. Again,
He was
lost,
down with evil.
Yes, 100%. Like, yeah, so again, this is the Tony Stark we know, arrogant and cocky and everything, but his genuine care for the lives of others is just gone. So he's just pure hubris and seeking power. And to the point, like,
Damn.
bro, at one point, he arrives in San Francisco and installs a new app on the cell phone of every individual in the city. The app infects each user with Extremis 3.0, which, if you recall, Extremis is in Iron Man 3, that like lava kind of deal that takes over Killian and all the people start exploding like they're bombs and stuff. It's supposed to make you like superhuman.
Oh my God.
But so he infects everybody with this thing called Extremis 3, and it's an addictive technovirus designated to transform its hosts into what Superior Iron Man calls the very best versions of themselves. So he tricks everybody into thinking it's going to improve their life, improve themselves. And then you find out actually his latest gift to humanity turns out to be a plan to enrich himself. Following a free trial, he charges everybody in the person $100 a day for this app. And he does that, and then everybody kind of starts to realize, oh, this dude's kind of evil. Pepper Potts starts turning on him and stuff. And Daredevil ends up having to confront him, and a bunch of the Avengers have to fight him because he's just a scumbag. Like, he's just straight up, but he just turns into an absolute scumbag. So we'd get a Homelander style Iron Man coming in to fight the 616. Maybe played by Tom Cruise, but honestly, he's too old. Don't do Tom Cruise. I know his younger version looks like it would fit the role very well, but I don't think they need to do that. But anyway, he's just a scumbag Iron Man, so I'd be pretty excited to actually see that come to play to fight against the Avengers, like full on evil. But I kind of think it'd be cool to let RDJ take it. I don't know. What do you think? Would you be cool with seeing RDJ portraying an evil Tony Stark in the MCU? Like, would that ruin things for you?
No, it would not ruin things. Yes, I would like to see that, and I will confirm right now, 100%. If he doesn't show up, I will leave this podcast Robert Downey Jr. will be in Kang Dynasty or Secret Wars.
Straight up. I think so too. So
He's coming back.
You think he really will be like not just a hologram, like we're going to get 616 Tony Stark showing up, or just RDJ as a variant of a Tony Stark?
Yeah, a variant. Okay. A variant. And hopefully it needs to be a different iteration like you're talking about. An evil Iron Man is perfect because he's not going to come back and be the same character again. That would ruin it.
What's the
point? But if he comes back as the complete opposite, that's not ruining anything. Like, this is not the same Tony Stark we saw before, and everyone will clearly know that.
You know what? Maybe. No, that's a really good point, actually. I agree with that. Because, at first I think it would, like, tarnish the Tony Stark legacy, but that's a good point. If they just brought him back for no reason, just to be Tony Stark again, that would feel like a cash grab. So, yeah, if they're going to, it should be a different variation of something. I like that. You swayed me.
There you go.
There you go. So that was our little impromptu novice nerd on the Superior Iron Man. Wasn't an official one. He didn't have the bona fides to get himself his own episode. So
that's true.
Sorry, Tom and Tony. All right. So there's one more thing kind of big. It came out. We got a rumor about a new Amazon series that may be in development. What do you got for us, Lub?
And surprisingly, this series is a Spider-Man noir. And it will be
so weird.
Right. The untitled series will follow an older, grizzled superhero in 1930s New York City. An individual with knowledge of the project says that the show will be set in its own universe and the main character will not be Peter Parker.
If this was Marvel Studios making it, I would be a lot more excited. I'm going to give them a chance. It's just Sony seems to be pulling out every possible Spider-Man story that isn't actually a Spider-Man Peter Parker story. Like they have Silk coming out. That's the Korean girl who gets bit by like the same spider or something and becomes a superhero named Silk. Obviously, we have the Madam Web movie coming out, which does include a baby Peter Parker, but not really a Peter Parker-centric thing. So they just seem to keep trying to make as many Star Wars stories without Peter Parker as they possibly can. But one thing I will say is I like the idea already. Just the general concept of a noir Spider-Man character. I think it's a cool, creative, unique idea. So if they did it well, I would be down. But again, I just have so much skepticism when it comes to Sony and whatever the hell their plan is.
Yeah. But Amazon, I mean, if it's like The Boys in a way, they have one good superhero show.
Yeah.
And it is kind of cool to see Sony kind of lending off their properties to someone else.
Yeah.
That's what they're best at, not doing it themselves.
Yeah, that's great point. You think they're going to get Nick Cage? Who famously
God, that would
voiced
be funny,
Spider-Man Noir in Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay. In 1930s New York, that could be really corny or really cool,
Right. Yeah, it could have like a Peaky Blinders vibe to it, or it could have like a
Sin City kind of...
Yeah, kind of a...
style.
1930s campy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Could be
What's going on,
Sonny?
Sonny?
Sonny? You got me all wrong, Sonny. Come here, Sonny. I was just watching one of those movies, actually. So Megan likes the black and white movies every once in a while, and I force her to watch nerd stuff all the time. So, I gotta roll with her picks, too. So we were watching a black and white movie last night called The Thin Man. It's about a detective in the 30s. Some guy gets murdered, and they're trying to solve it. But yeah, it's just so funny that they just totally made up a new dialect for the movies back then. Like, nobody really talks like that. But, what do you say? Hey, what are you trying to say? Trying to get smart? It's just ridiculous, dude. Oh, my God. It's pretty enjoyable.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was. I actually enjoyed it. It was goofy, pretty funny there.
Right.
And they're only like 70 minutes or whatever back then. They definitely weren't 3-hour movies.
No.
All right, well, before we head out of here, real quick, I don't know if you heard, the Young Avengers hype that's been going on?
Yeah.
I'm talking about. Well, producer Steven Broussard for Marvel Studios came out and said Marvel actually has no current plans to make a Young Avengers project. So kind of shot
That's
down a lot
crazy.
of people's theories regarding it because it really feels like they're setting it up with all these characters, but they're claiming there's no plan yet. So interesting enough. I mean, they're setting up Stature, Scott Lang's daughter, Cassie Lang, and all that, and obviously Kate Bishop and Wanda's kids and all the people. There's plenty of them out there. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
It must be after Secret Wars, I guess.
Yeah, maybe that's a part of the whole reset. The Avengers get wiped out, and now the young Avengers have to kind of start up their own deal, you know?
They haven't even thought about that, or they haven't really started development on that yet. They will do it in the future, though.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff to worry about. So that'll wrap it up for our news here. Our Week in Geek coming out, our trailer coverage, everything. One thing to look forward to that I didn't throw out on my future programming reminders were those Super Bowl trailers. We had the Guardians trailer, Ant-Man trailer. Super Bowl is always good for dropping a major trailer. So we are going to release an episode where we cover what happened in those trailers. So look for that.
Don't hate on your second pick, Little Mermaid, too.
Yeah, it really hyped me up. It got me going. I think that's really going to be a big chunk of my team, and it's going to really push us into the championship game there.
There you go.
So yes, tune in for that, for our coverage of all those trailers. Thank you as always for joining us here tonight. Thank you to my co-host Caleb Culver for another edition of Week in Geek, an exciting kickoff to our study guide segments and our announcements of our new episode series, The Novice Nerd. Keep tuning in for anything. If you see a project and you're like, I don't really know who that character is, and you want us to cover it, hit up that email like we said, and we'll make you a Novice Nerd episode. We'll get it sent out.
Right.
We'll prep you however you need to be prepped for the upcoming projects. We're here for you. So,
Baby.
So anyways, enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of your night. And thank you, as always, for tuning in to Why So Sidious, the Nerd Podcast. Where we travel from a galaxy far, far away. Yeah, the refs really weren't good tonight. I just got my son Austin over there getting beat up by Mo Bamba. He's just kind of a clown. He kind of embarrasses the name Rivers, but yeah, a good night all around.